I'm going to go ahead and get started here. We're right about 8 o'clock. Open up the Kiamichi Amateur Radio Club. Check-in net for this Sunday night. We will go down the list, calling out names. When you hear your name, come back to us. Tell us how you're doing. This is informal. Nothing special. Just let us know you can hear us and get in a little bit of time using your radio. This is all for a lot of fun, and to see if you got good communication back and forth with your radio. I want everybody to enjoy it. Just let me know if you can hear me. We'll move down the list, and then we'll just open it up for general conversation close to the end, and everybody can talk a little bit. Once we're done with the GMRS side, we'll switch over to 2-meter, simplex. All those that have a 2-meter radio, 146.520, 146.520 simplex on 2-meter, and we'll do a short net on that one as well, just to make sure everybody's radios are functioning, and we'll see how it goes this evening. I know we got some new people here. I'm pretty excited about that, so everybody stand by. We'll get started.
RUP 233, this is WRK 473.
Go ahead, 473.
KG5 TTL. He's in the middle of the show, so he's not going to make it on the 2-meter.
All right, copy that. Guys, let's kick it off. We'll go ahead and get started with the GMRS net for the Kiamichi Amateur Radio Club. First name on my list here tonight is WRBU 372. WRBU 372, Jason. Okay, how about WRHS 922, Ted, you out there? WRKE 473, Tracy.
This is WRKE 473, on there.
Alright, good deal. Thought there for a minute the radio had quit me. How about WRKV 987, James?
WRKV 987, right there, not sure.
James, I got you. I got a bit of static in that, but I can hear you. WRWE 631. Amy, you out there? WRWE 631. WRWF 702, Nelson. WRWK 576, Amy.
She's telling me to answer for her, but yeah, she's listening.
You gonna have to buy her a radio, man.
Well, it's not like she's not across the room.
Wait, we can have a proxy?
Go ahead, James. I can hear you. Go ahead.
We can have a proxy?
Well, you know how it is. Tracy and them, they proxy from time to time. I think he just won't buy her a radio. WRWK 973, Joe.
WRWK 973, 911 clear.
All right, Joe, I can hear you good. I can hear you pretty good. You up on top of the hill?
Yep, sitting right here next to the new guys.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I can hear you real good. WRWY 603. Al, can you hear us? Lives a long ways for a handheld. He probably couldn't get back to us if he could hear us, to be honest. How about WRXZ 515, Chris? WRPL 657.
WRPL 657, present in the counter tour.
All right, good to hear from you, Brock. Looks like we're going to have a nice little group tonight. WSCI 834.
This is WSCI 834. I can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, Brand, I can hear you as well, loud and clear. There's a small amount of ambient white noise in there, but it's not bad at all. I can hear you great.
Okay, I'm inside a concrete block house with a steel door.
Well, you're doing a good job then. I can hear you real well for that. WRPJ 495, Cordell.
WRPJ 495.
Good strong signal on you, Cordell. Good strong and clear. WSCF 347, John.
59 here.
Sure, you got a handheld unit or a mobile unit? What are you talking on? What kind of radio you got?
It's a mobile FTM 500 VR.
Real nice and clean. Real nice and clean. No static at all. Sounds really good. I believe there may be someone else. I'll just open it up to who else we haven't called because I don't have the other call signs down. Anybody else out there that can hear us that wants to come in with your call sign right now. Anybody else out there, GMRS, that wants to come into the Kiamichi Amateur Radio Club's net for the evening, come right in with your call sign.
WSES 631, Andy.
Say that again, Andy, so I can write it down.
WSES 631.
W-S and Sierra, E-F Frank, 631.
Yes, sir.
Andy? 31, your name was Andy, right?
Yes, it is.
All right, guys. I was just making some notes here, trying to write everything down here. I'm really glad you guys are with us. Hey, I'm tickled to death. Your radio's sounding good. Got your call signs. Do you guys have 2-meter radios or just GMRS at the moment?
Andy, I'm just a GMRS right now.
What about you, Josh? Do you have a 2-meter radio running?
Yes, I do.
Very good. Very good. Give me your ham call sign, Joshua.
KJ5 IFL.
J5, what was the last part?
IFL.
J5 IFL.
Yeah, that was correct.
All right, very good. Anybody else out there on GMRS that wants to come in with their call sign to the net tonight? All right, anybody got any news or anything they need to talk about or would like to talk about?
RPL 657.
Come in, 657.
Wanted to say good evening to everyone on the net and congratulations, Josh, for the tech license. That's a great deal. I mentioned, I think I said you and I had visited about the test that Bran and I had ran up on Buffalo Mountain. And for the folks that are on the net tonight, I drove up on top of Buffalo Mountain up to the edge of the property where that potential tower site is. And using a handheld walkie, was able to get back into Tallahassee over there with Bran in WSCA 34. And he was understandable, and I believe I was understandable to him. Then I switched over to a mobile unit, and everything was much better, much better. So it was kind of a test to see whether we could get some coverage from that tower location up there. And Brand, if you're still on here, you might give an indication of what the reception was down here in Tallahassee on the HT.
Now, this is 834, Brand, and you were loud and clear, Brock. Even on your handheld, I don't know.
Dale, it sounded like there was a little bit of a problem with the repeater again. Is it still up?
Yeah, affirmative. It's running. Yeah, there was some static came in there from somewhere. It came and went.
What happened last time Tracy was on there? One other thing, I am recording this evening, and we'll have it posted on the Facebook club page later tonight. So if you want to check your signal and see how you're doing coming into the net, that'll be available later this evening.
3-3. Thanks, Brock, for doing that. Appreciate that. I listened to those recordings. I think it's kind of neat to listen to. Josh and Andy, if you guys get a chance, you get on the Facebook page, you'll be able to find that recording, and you can hear this entire net tonight. It's been recorded, and you can hear what yourself sounds like as well as everybody else on the radio and how your radio sounds coming back through the repeater. It's kind of an interesting tool, so you can kind of hear what when you're talking, what other people are hearing.
5-9 here. That's what I was actually looking forward to. I've heard some of y'all's recordings already, and it's very cool.
Absolutely. It's a good learning tool. Make people a little bit more comfortable, I think, handling their radios. You know, this is not a competition. There's truly not a whole lot you can do wrong. You know, there's some obvious things, but in general, as long as you're doing your best, you can't be wrong about it. So feel free to use your radios. Everybody kind of knows the rules. Try to follow the rules to the best of your ability, but don't be afraid to get on your radio.
WSCI 834.
834.
Yeah, I'm interested, Josh. Where are you in Andy? What mountain are you all on?
259. We're Water Tower Road up on top of Bingo Mountain.
Hey, understood.
Guys live, Josh, this is 233 again. Do you guys live over the hill like Joe does, back a little closer to Bengal?
We're actually Wilburton people.
Okay, very good. Well, we're hoping, you know, in due time, when we get everything put together, if we can get this repeater up on the mountain where we want it on that tower, I feel fairly confident that you guys will be able to reach that repeater from Wilburton off of your mobile units. 3. Yeah, that's our intent, is to provide a repeater that the local area, and I don't just mean Tallahena proper, I mean the entire valley over towards Wilburton, back towards Muse, in those areas, can use this repeater if they needed to in the event of an emergency to make contacts, to make requests, to make emergency calls, things like that. And then, of course, when it's not an emergency, we just use it for our own fun, for our own time, and we can talk to one another. 259.
I'm hitting a repeater, 145-410, and I can very easily talk on it from Wilburton. I don't know whose repeater that is. I've just got it ear tagged as Tallahena, but do you know whose that one is?
I think that's Sycamore Tower. Hang on.
It's N5 CST. That's the one that's up on Sycamore, where the old fire tower was, up on Winding Stair. And that's ran pretty much by a group out of Poto. They use it quite a bit during weather watches, storm spotting, that sort of thing. But it is an open repeater, and there's another one that has a huge coverage, 14640, I believe. No, it's the last part of the frequency is 640. That's located up on Kavanaugh, and that has a very long, broad coverage of eastern Oklahoma and into western Arkansas.
3 coming in. Yeah, Kavanaugh is 146.640. That's Kavanaugh. You'll probably be able to open that one from Wilburton as well, and yeah, you can stretch out almost all the way to Little Rock, Arkansas with that one. The one you're talking about, Joshua, 145.410, that is the Sycamore Tower, which is up on Talamina Drive up here, just past the Panorama turnout. And so you're opening that repeater up over here on Talamina Drive.
Okay, I figured that's what it was. I just didn't know the name of it. I've just got it ear tagged Tallahena, but I hit that one very, very easily. I was in Quinton yesterday hitting it, so it talks a long ways.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've got that repeater back up to speed. It had some mechanical issues for a little while, but they've brought it back up, and it is a great repeater for our area because it covers a large area. It has probably one of the highest altitudes of any of the repeaters around here, so it's going to have a good coverage, and you should be able to get into it from a lot of places. That's a good one to keep in your radios, just in case of an emergency. You can certainly get out on that repeater almost all the time.
WRPL 657. To verify that, I was over at Fort Smith at the Mercy Hospital parking lot, and could easily talk to Dale over that repeater, so it's got really long-range coverage.
Now, fellas, I mean, just getting into the radio stuff, radio frequency, of course, doesn't bend over mountains as well as you would like for it to, but it does bend over some. But altitude is king on those. The higher the antenna, the farther it's going to go. And keep that in mind when you're putting up, if you decide to put up a base station at your house, or if you're having trouble getting out and you need to get out, get yourself some altitude, get up on a hill, and you will be able to talk an enormous distance. A quick example, I'm going to break here for radio, and I'll come right back. Radio will time out if you talk too long, just to let you know that. But I went up Saturday. Tulsa REs was having their emergency net practice for the year up there. I put in their main check-in repeater out of Tulsa. I drove up on Talamina Drive with my pickup truck, and out of my mobile unit, I talked to those guys in Tulsa off of their repeater from Talamina Drive. That's something to look forward to on the GMRS side. We are hoping to get this repeater up and going as soon as we possibly can. We're gathering our funds and a plan of action. But if we get this repeater up, I feel like you guys should be able to reach that from Wilburton itself. We'll have to do some tests on that, of course, to see how well it does, but I believe you will, just due to the height of the tower up on the mountain. It's considerably higher than we are here in Tallahena, so we should be able to reach all the way up to Wilburton, I think, and your GMRS radios should be able to come back so you could talk to people in Tallahena or Clayton, probably all the way down to Whitesboro, Muse area.
WRWK973. It might not help me. I need about 1,000 feet of pipe for an antenna for my house.
You live in that bunker. At least the big bomb won't get you. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was hoping that it would, because of the altitude and the height of the mountain and the way it was coming downhill, that you might could pick it up at least a lot closer to your house. You wouldn't have to come up on the mountain. And if you had an outside antenna, you might even be able to pick it up there. I don't know. What do you think the elevation of your house is? Where are you sitting on elevation?
Oh, let me check right quick.
That tower, our antenna, if we were able to get it set up on that tower, we will be at around 2,100 to 2,200 feet, somewhere in that neighborhood. Tallahena sits at 700 feet, so I mean it's well above the town of Tallahena. And yeah, there's probably some hills between us and Wilburton, but I would bet you we can get back to Wilburton. I don't know how far down in the valley we'll be able to go towards Bengal, down into the low valley. I don't know that for sure, but it will be a downhill run, and that's favorable for the radio waves to carry.
My house is sitting about 700 feet, but I'm at the base of the mountain though, so hope maybe it'll get me.
The mountain to the west of you or to the south of you? Do you know if you're sitting at the base of the mountain, is the mountain to your west or to your south?
I got Bengal to the south, and then I'm sitting in between two to my east and west.
You could be right. I mean, it may not get all the way down in there. All we can do is give it a test. Once we get it up and running, give it a test and see what it'll do. Maybe if you can get you an outside antenna, that might help a little, but we can play with that and see if we can get you to where you can reach it or not from your house.
Yeah, I just got a book called The Gorilla's Guide to Both Thing Radio, and they got all sorts of stuff about building antennas in it. I think I'm gonna build me one.
You can build antennas out of practically anything, and once you get the idea and the concept down, you can play with it a little bit and adjust them. But almost anything that's metal, you can make an antenna out of, to be honest, as long as you pay attention and get all your wires connected properly. It's pretty amazing what you can do. This is 233 again. Just to let you know about that, you guys may know some about that stuff too, but when I first got started on the HF, you were talking about talking to your father. I got me some 14-gauge automotive electric wire. I did the mathematical calculations, and I strung them out. I put them on a ballum and got my hookups up so I could talk HF. And I can talk to South America, the West Coast, the East Coast, Canada, New Zealand, places like that. And my antenna is literally made out of 14-gauge electric wire that you have in your car.
259 here. That's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. And we've been doing a lot of reading and figuring on building antennas. And I think Joe was serious when he was going to build him a 1,000-foot antenna. But we'll see how that goes.
I hear that. Well, he'll have to put a generator behind it to push it on through 1,000 foot, but it would be doable as long as you got enough power behind it. Right, fellas, well, we've had a good meeting. Anybody else got anything else or questions they'd like to talk about or discuss?
One more thing, WRPL 657.
Go ahead, 657.
Talking about antennas, there's what they call cheapy Aggies, and they're highly directional and easily made out of some hardwood and stiff wire. And it basically uses a J-pole as a driven element, and then a longer piece for a reflector, and then a shorter piece for a director. And for those people who are on the very edge and have kind of a weak signal, one of those things could be constructed for little or nothing. And just thinking that we might use one club meeting evening and bring in some materials and construct a few if somebody wanted to do that.
Not a half bad idea. If we need to plan it up so we could do some calculations, and whoever wants to try to build an antenna, we could gather up your materials, and we can do some calculations, and we could certainly try to have a time where we could get together and try to make something like that. I agree with you.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll look that antenna up in the construction methods and see if I can't put something together and post it on our club Facebook page, and people can take a look at it and go from there.
Be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah, a Yagi-style directional UHF antenna that would handle the GMRS frequencies. That would be very beneficial for like Joe over there, where he's down in the valley and he's having a hard time picking signal up. That would be great.
Absolutely, it would definitely improve the weak signals and the hard to reach places.
Is the specialty of those antennas. They're directional in nature, but they can reach out and amplify signal, pull it in and amplify it to make it work. So that's a great idea. I like that idea.
That's all I had. WRPL 657.
I think I got all the materials. It's just doing all the math would be the hard part for me.
We'll try to put some thought into it and do some research, and we can get the math part figured out. And then Brock's going to look up a directional deal to how to put that antenna together, and we can get the figures lined out to what we need and how long each piece needs to be and things like that. We can figure that out. Hopefully help you get something built.
I definitely appreciate being able to sit at the house and call in.
I understand that. I appreciate you guys coming out on the evening like this and getting to where you can talk and visit with us over the net, because I know it's not at your home. So, and that's a challenge for everybody that has to do that. And I appreciate you guys very much. I think we can have a good time and get our club, going good, and hopefully we can all learn some things and enjoy our radios. Anybody else have anything or questions or comments they'd like to bring in?
473. I just got the updated call sign list posted to our private Facebook.
Roger that.
Andy, if you would, Josh has got my Facebook page. Send me a friend request, and then I can send you an invite to our private club page.
Yeah, I can do that.
that call sign list. Make sure I've got your call signs and your name, everything spelled correctly. From time to time, we do have a mistake in there. Isn't that right, Brock?
That's rare. That's really rare, Tracy.
Tell you what, though, we do have a nice little list going, and we like to keep it refreshed and keep it up, and we love to add names to it. I'm tickled to death. Andy and Joshua, you guys, I'm glad you guys came on board, and always feel free to ask questions. Like I said, none of us know it all, but we might could help you out with something, or we can certainly help you look something up. Research is always good. Knowledge is always good, so we'll look stuff up and do what we have to do to help you guys out as much as we can.
5-9 here. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys having us, and it's been a blast.
Fellas, if there ain't anything else on the GMRS side, we'll switch over to the 2-meter side. We'll close down the GMRS net for the Kiamichi Amateur Radio Club. We'll shut it down for this evening on the GMRS side. I try to monitor this repeater as much as I can when I'm not at work, so always chime in and holler out and use it as much as you can. That's what it's for. This is WRUP 233. I'm going to switch over to the 2-meter side, 146.520 simplex, and open the net up over there for anybody who has that capability.
We'll see y'all later. WRWK 973 out.
Hey, Joe, and thank you for coming in.
2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 0, 1.